Hi everyone, it's Miss Kelly from the Wakanda Area Library. Today I'm going to show you what we're doing with this month's Art to Go. This month you guys are going to be making yarn pumpkins. And to do that, you're going to have in your kits this tube, some felt, a ball of yarn. You'll need from home some scissors and some glue and a stick from your yard. You're going to end up needing a piece about this big, something you could just break off a branch or find on the ground outside probably pretty easily. And with that, let's get started. So you're going to take your ball of yarn. You're going to use the entire ball of yarn for this project. It's going to take a little while. So this is something, either make sure you've got plenty of time to work on it, or be prepared to have a pencil if you're going to take a break. I'll show you how we're going to do that. So some of you may have done finger knitting before. We're going to do a really simple one here for this project. So if you haven't done it, I'm going to give you a quick rundown on how we do that, okay? So we're going to start by taking your hand and pinching that end right there and letting that go right across the palm of your hand, okay? Go between your fingers, under this finger, over this finger, okay? So you've got a loop on both fingers right now, okay? And you're just kind of holding it with your thumb. You're going to go over, under, over, between. So now you've got two loops on your fingers. You're going to take this back loop and pull it over. And then pull that one and pull it over. And then you've got this little string hanging down here, and you can give it a little pull. And if it moves up your fingers, just kind of wiggle it down your fingers again, okay? All right, so now we've got kind of locked in to start, all right? So we've got those two loops again, and you're back here at the beginning. Over, under, over, in the middle. And you got those two again. You're gonna pull it over. You're gonna hold back one over the front one, and then kind of pull it and wiggle it like this. Wiggle them down. I notice when I do it, they keep sliding towards the end of my fingers. So if you wiggle them like that, they kind of will wiggle back down. Over, under, and back in the middle. Okay. All right, look, you're getting a little bit of a knit here. Okay, and by pulling down a little bit on this and wiggling your fingers a little bit, that helps to tighten it up a little bit, okay? Over, under, and back in the middle. You get those. Pull it over and pull it over. Just be careful to not pull them off your fingers, but if you do, just put those loops back on your finger, okay? All right, and I'm gonna give them a wiggle like that, tighten them up back up on my finger. All right, I left kind of a long tail on that one. Okay, over, under, and back in the middle. So you've got those two loops again. All right, and you can give it a little pull down on the knitting. Look at how you've gotten this little tail here already, and then wiggle them down. Over, under, back in the middle. To be very honest with you, when I've done this, I've gotten a little confused about, whoops, wait, did I loop it under or over? It doesn't matter. You just keep, as long as you keep wiggling it down and kind of tightening up a little bit like this, you're going to pull on this one and wiggle down. It's still going to give you that same chain effect, okay? Over, under, back in the middle. And then 1, 2, okay? And then slide them together a little bit. Over, under, back in the middle. Look how long it is already. So even though it's growing really quickly right before your eyes, it's a pretty big ball of yarn. This is going to take you a little while. But if you get started on this and you find out that you need to stop, if it's dinner time, if your mom and dad need you to come do something, you can take a break. Carefully slide them off your fingers like this. You have these two bunny ears, and you're going to take and slide a pencil right in there. And then you're going to pull both of them a little bit, and it tightens it up a little. Okay? So you can save it like that. Just keep it together. That way it won't come unraveled. And when you come back to it, loosen it up a little bit. Take one out, put it on your finger. Slide that pencil off. Make sure you hold it. Slide your pencil off. Slide it back on your next finger. And then just start again. Over, under, back in the middle. And then you lift them like this. Okay, and like I said, wiggle it a little bit like that and kind of pull it to tighten it up. All right. And then just keep this pushed out of the way. Over, under, back in the middle. Let's do. All right. Now, I know there are other methods of finger knitting. This is the one I'm showing you for this project. If you know another way to do it, that's okay too. This one works really nice for it, but like I said, if you know something else, you can do it. So I'm going to take this guy out and save it. Put the pencil in there. I've got one that I've already finished here. And I did the whole ball of yarn, and this is what I got. And I got my two little ears here at the end. So I went all the way until I just had this little piece left. Okay, and I slipped it off my fingers, and I've got these two little bunny ears. and I'm just gonna tie them in just a little knot, just one little. You don't have to tie it really in a super tight knot. You just don't want it to come back open or unravel all your hard work, okay? There, all right, so you're all set. So you got 2 finished ends now. So now you're gonna take your tube and you're going to take this first end and slide it through the middle here. And if you want, you can tie it. You don't have to if you don't want to. You could just hold it with your finger. You can kind of do a little loose tie like that, or just hold it like this with your finger and take your finished end and pull it all the way through. This is what I mean about don't worry if it's not perfect. It's going to be kind of hidden. You can always squinch it around. Okay, so you want to do it so that end that's not braided is tucked in there like that, right? And then you're going to do another loop. I'll do a couple loops so you guys can get an idea of how it looks. All right. Back through. So one of the things that I found after practicing this a little bit is that I am trying to keep the loops next to each other. I'm not going to kind of go all crazy around. I'm keeping them, pushing them next to each other like that, okay? And take my end again. All right, and pull it through. If you get tangled up, it's really easy to just slip it back out and start again. Just push it over like that, okay? But keep doing that. You're going to keep doing that all the way around. I've got one that I've been working on a little bit longer over here. Show you this one. I'm just about done with it. So you can see I'm going all the way around. I still got this little bit left here on the end to cover this up. Okay, so I'm going to push it in. It gets a little bit harder now. You don't want it to get tangled up with the other stuff, so I'm pushing it through. And push it over to one side, okay? And you push it through. It's getting much more full now. And push it to one side. Got some little, see if you get little fuzzy pieces like that. I'm just going to tuck it in the back. Nobody will see that. Just keep pushing it through. So it's going to take your entire ball of yarn to cover your paper tube. But once you get all the way around, if you see some of it still showing, you just kind of mush it around a little bit and wiggle it and kind of fluff up your yarn a little bit till it covers it all. This last piece through in here. I tried to keep it about even so that one side didn't look puffier than the other. I wanted them to be about the same, all the way around the same thickness. Okay, so there you go. Your whole tube's covered, and like I said, you can kind of squish it and fluff it a little bit like that till it looks nice. Looks like your pumpkin's wearing a little sweater, doesn't it? See? And then this is where you're going to take your piece of stick and your felt. And I'm going to measure my felt so it's about the same width as my stick, a little bit shorter. And cut it. Let's see, I'm just going to roll it around like this. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it there too. You can see. Important to have good scissors when you're cutting felt, it can be tricky. All right, take my glue, put your glue on the felt or the stick, whichever way you like. You know, this is entirely up to you. If you don't want to put the felt on the stick, you can just stick a little stick in there and be done with it. And that can be your stem like that. It's fine to just go like that. I just feel like the felt looks really nice with the fuzzy yarn. You get kind of that nice finished look. I'll wrap that all the way around. You got a pretty decent sized piece of felt in your kit, and it doesn't really take much to cover your stick. So if you wanted to use your felt and maybe cut out a little pumpkin leaf, you could, or make some vine for it. This is going to need to dry just for a little bit. Let's set that over there and let it dry. I've got one that I already did. I'm going to put a little purple on that one. And then you're just going to push that guy right in there. This is a little short. There you go. There you go. There's your knitted pumpkin. I hope you guys have fun. Send me pictures of your finished project and keep an eye out for next month's Art to Go. Bye now.